Howdy, listeners. Welcome to Horse-Powered Games, the show where horse is the name and cars the game. I'm the wannabe game designer, Ben.
I'm the rejected third counterpart to Ben and Jerry, Matt.
Matt, I feel like maybe game journalism has lost its way.
It has. I agree.
We would like to create a shift in focus for game journalism as a whole.
Yeah, for too long they've been focused on improving graphics, improving gameplay. These are not the things that are important in video games.
There's a piece of gameplay that is often overlooked in multiple games.
Like almost 90% of games do not have this crucial feature.
Yes. So we wanted to take the time to make this bi-weekly show to discuss games that went the extra mile and did add this thing in, and that's of course horses and cars.
Of course. Vital elements of game design.
If you don't have these things, then it's not a good game.
No, your game is
patent pending.
Can I swear?
What?
Can I swear?
I guess so.
Your game is if you don't have these things. Your game is poo-poo trash.
Oh, man. All right. So I thought that in order to start this show off with a bang, that we would talk about a pretty important game that had one of these things in it. By the way, I should mention Matt usually doesn't know what game that I'm going to be talking about, so it'll be a surprise. Yep, it's gonna keep the comedy fresh and all that stuff.
Yeah, keep me on my toes.
This episode, we're going to be talking about Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64 and 3DS.
Nice.
Well, it's also on other stuff. For those of you who don't know, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time was the first 3D game in the Legend of Zelda series. It was released in 1998. It was probably the most influential game that they ever released other than Mario 64, but we'll get to that. It pioneered the 3D adventure genre by implementing the targeting system for combat. It had much more complex puzzle-based dungeons than previous titles in the series. The goal is to stop Ganondorf's tyrannical reign and bring peace to the land of Hyrule and the Sacred Realm.
It's a good game. It's a fun time.
Have you played this game?
I have played this game. I have played it.
Wow.
I have not finished it, but I have played it. And
that seems to be a common thing that I hear from friends of mine who have played this game.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll get to why I haven't finished it, but why I've played it so much. We'll get there. Slowly but surely. Foreshadowing.
Yes. I don't know where to start. There's a lot that happens in this game. I guess I should talk about the main gimmick of this game.
Yeah.
So basically, in Ocarina of Time, you're helping Princess Zelda try to stop Ganondorf. You two are the only two that assume that he's doing bad stuff, and it turns out he was doing bad stuff. So the main goal of the beginning of the game is to find all of the these like sacred gems and bring them to a pedestal at the Temple of Time and play the Song of Time on the Ocarina of Time.
The Chaos Emeralds.
To open up the Door of Time, which are these giant freaking doors, and behind it is the Master Sword. So, Ganondorf catches wind of this after you go to the last of the 3 dungeons that you have to go to, and as a child. I should mention, Link is like 11 at the beginning of the game, and pretty much Zelda's running away with one of her caretakers away from Ganondorf, and she throws the Ocarina of Time. You take it to the Temple of Time to play it. You once Link pulls the Master Sword, he gets frozen in time for 7 years. until he becomes an adult and can actually wield the Master Sword, which messes everything up. Ganondorf goes into the Sacred Realm. He takes the Triforce and breaks it. Mass hysteria.
Everything bad.
So the point of that whole thing that I just word barfed is that you can travel through time in this game, which is really cool. You can go to the past and do stuff that affects the future. Like you can plant these magic beans and they make these platforms that you can ride on.
Yeah.
There's
You could kill a
different
man.
like you could, and then he will never come back in the future.
He will not be alive anymore. Because killing people makes them dead.
Yeah, and you can't bring them back. Remember that.
Yeah.
I don't know who we're talking to. I'm sure somebody is like, oh no,
Listen
what
up.
have I done?
Listen up. People die when they're killed. Don't forget that. I have to go now.
And,
I'm on a quest.
and remember kids, if you, if you do drugs, you go to hell when you die. No, before you die. Crap, I messed up my own joke.
Like at the same time, you're like,
So one of the things that actually happens in the game is you can actually you get a horse.
You do get a horse.
Yes.
You get a beautiful horse.
She's the best. I'm glad I don't have to show you any pictures because I didn't save any.
Yes. I don't remember the name of the horse.
So her name is Epona, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. At the center of Hyrule Field, the main hub of the game, there's this place called Lon Lon Ranch. And there's a girl and her father that live there named Malone and Talon. They're not there at the start. You have to there's a whole quest.
You have to progress.
Yeah, you have to wake up Malone's dad by bringing him a chicken and waking him up, and then he'll run back to the ranch.
Which is that's how you wake up all dads.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know why I never attempted that with my dad. I'm sure that's why my results weren't all that great. You know, there's only so much you can do by shaking a man or patting his shoulder.
Yeah, slapping him senseless. Sometimes you just gotta break out the chicken.
Yes.
You know, that's where this game is really, it hits home for me, because as somebody from a small town with chickens and cows, this is what we would do every morning. That is a lie. That is a straight up lie. Be on your toes.
Yeah. That's the thing about this show. Sometimes we lie.
Yes, you don't know what to believe, but everything about the games is true. Everything else is not true.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
90% of it is true.
Or maybe we're lying about that too.
Bum, bum, bum. You'll never know. That's me running away.
I was going to ask. So yes, for some reason the chicken actually hatches overnight and is an adult immediately, but we won't go into that.
Chickens, am I right?
Once you go back to the ranch, Malone is actually singing a song that her mother taught her when she was very little. But she's already little, but that's beside the point.
When she was a baby little. She's
singing to all of her horses. And she's like, "This is my horse, Epona." And you go up to Epona and she starts running away. And she's like, "Oh, don't worry. Epona's just a little shy." And then you keep trying to go up to her and you're like, "Oh my God, animals hate me.
This horse hates
I'm the worst
me.
person ever." Yeah. She teaches you the song. And when you play the song to Epona, she comes right up to you and nuzzles up to you and stuff. And she'll follow you around if you play the song. I completely forgot another part of this whole thing. So there's another guy that works at the ranch, and his name is
Steve.
I forgot his name.
Barry.
You can call him Steve. I think his name is Ingo. Yes, his name is Ingo. He's a jerk. Um,
He
uh,
sucks.
he does suck. He works with the hay and stuff, and he's like, nah, that Talon guy, he's just a lazy bum. He just sleeps all the time. I'll show him one day. Flash forward 7 years into the future, he does show him. Ganondorf gives Ingo the ranch, and now Malon and Talon work for Ingo.
Ugh.
So what you end up doing is you go there, and it's basically just like a petting zoo now. And he charges people to ride the horses for like 2 minutes.
Despicable.
And you have to, yeah, that's ridiculous. Wait,
Horses
did I say dollars? 10
yeah,
rupees.
you did say dollars. It's like it's a microtransaction in the game.
He reaches out of the. That's what they did for the 3DS version. If you have the 3D on, he reaches his hand out of the 3DS and says, "Give me your money."
The ranch needs your help. I need the 16 numbers on the front of your credit card and the 3 special numbers on the back.
Oh my god. You better be quick or Ganondorf will take over Hyrule.
Ganondorf will drain your bank account dry. And the kids playing are like, I don't have a bank account. And he's like, well, your
Mommy, what's a bank? Mommy, what's the digits on the front of your credit card?
Mom, I need your credit card. I have to ride a horse for 15 minutes.
I need your credit card so I can defeat Ganon.
And the mom's like, what about the Master Sword? It's like, no. I need the money.
I can buy that. I can just buy the Master Sword.
I can make my clothes purple. Mom, I need this.
Oh, she's like, you know what? You're right. There isn't a purple tunic in this game. I have to give my son this money. Oh my god. All right, we're getting off track. So after you like actually like start racing, like riding the horses around, you can actually play Epona's song again. And she'll come up to you and you can climb on her back and ride her. You have to like jump over these fences and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you do it enough times,
Parkour.
Ingo will challenge you to a race, expecting you to lose. But you smoke him. He loses super hard.
Smoke him like a beef jerky.
Yeah. He'll be like, ah, crap, that was Epona. That's like my trophy horse. That's the horse I was gonna present to Ganondorf, and now he's gonna know that I lost to this kid, and so he cheats. He like challenges you to another race and he cheats, but you still beat him like very easily. It's not hard. And then he locks you in the ranch, and then you can like jump out of the ranch over the fence, and it's awesome. It's pretty epic. But yeah, that's like, how you get Epona.
It's like, dude, stop trying to win Ganon over. It's not gonna work. He doesn't want you, man. Listen, it's just not gonna work between you and Ganon. You're just gonna have to face it. You can't keep giving him other people's horses. I love him. Listen, man. He's taken over Hyrule. You gotta be out there. The power imbalance in this relationship is very unhealthy. You are a guy that stole a horse ranch. He's in the castle. You're not the same. He has the Triforce of power, and you have the Triforce of hay, livestock, and that's it. Stuff. Yeah. Actually, the Triforce of livestock would be pretty great, though. Yeah, it'd be like a chicken, a cow, and a horse, and like you'd put it together, and something good would happen. Actually, you put it together, and you would just get Harvest Moon, but that's for another time. Yeah, the Sacred Realm is Harvest Moon. Yeah. Anyway, should we talk about how Epona feels to like ride and stuff? Yes, I think so. I think we should talk about Epona's stats for sure.
Stats. Oh, you know what? I actually did write down the speed of Epona, so that is actually pretty good. So I
All right.
did research for this game.
Yeah, lay it
I
on
went to
me.
Zelda. I went to ZeldaSpeedruns.com and I looked up all the speeds of the different characters in this game. So Child Link has I'm going to be talking in speed values, and it's not going to be important what speed values mean because I don't even know what they
Is it
mean.
like
But like,
is it like miles per hour or
I don't
is
know.
it not?
It's not important.
Okay, I'm gonna imagine all of these in miles per hour.
Okay, it's not going to be that impressive.
Okay.
So Child Link has a speed value of 8.25 when walking, but if
Oh,
you are like
slow.
continuously when you're rolling, he has a speed value, excuse me, of 12.375.
Okay.
Adult Link has a speed value of 9 when he's walking, so a little bit faster, and
Oh,
13.5 when rolling.
okay.
Epona has a speed value of 12 to 14 when she's running. Like you have to build up that speed over time. But when you're sprinting, it's of a speed value of 20.
That's pretty good.
It only lasts for 5 seconds, but like 5 seconds is a long time
Yeah,
in
in
the game.
horse seconds. In
I
horse
think like 2
seconds, that's a
seconds in this
while.
game are like an hour and a half for some reason. I don't know why. Like you'll be running around and like 2 minutes later the sun goes down. It's like, what?
It's just like Minecraft.
It's just like Minecraft. So yeah, I know it. I made Epona sound really fast just now,
like
but
the fastest.
the fastest in the game, yeah. But she's like controlling her is a different story. Have you ever ridden on a cart at a Walmart, like an electronic cart?
No, I thought you meant like in the shopping cart at first, but I've done that. I have not ridden in like the electronic one.
Oh, okay. You can imagine though what it's like to drive
Yeah,
those things, right?
yeah. I'm imagining it in my mind. Paul Blart is
Yeah.
there, but don't worry about that.
I want to ask. So like turning is kind of weird in them, and going in reverse is weird on them.
Yeah.
And it's like not as fast as you would like it to be. You know,
Mm.
that's what riding Epona is kind of like. Except she is pretty fast. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like trying to maneuver her around, like turning and stuff like that, is a lot like riding an electronic shopping cart.
But she can jump.
She can jump. It's really cool.
That's the big difference.
Yeah, you can't jump in one of those things. They're heavy.
Yeah, I thought you can't even do a boneless on them. It's really sad.
Can't even do an ollie. It's lame.
Jeez. You mean I can't get this thing in the tailpipe? Bummer. Tell Tony we can't do the thing today because
Tony, I'm sorry. My ride is just terrible, dude. I only brought. Don't ask, but I brought a shopping cart. I misheard you. Don't ask. I misheard you when you said skateboard.
You said bring a board, and I was like, okay, here's my car.
Here's my cart.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now that I think about it, it makes a lot more sense when you're in one of these tail.
Yeah. And Tony Hawk's
when you're in one of these half pipes, it makes a lot more sense to have a skateboard.
Yeah. And Tony Hawk's like, hey, it's okay, it's no problem. We can make it work. It's like, thank you, Tony Hawk, you're the best. And then here's the
problem, Tony. I think that'd be a really, really bad idea. So I'm just gonna go home. Okay, it's probably gonna take me like 3 hours.
Listen, you can give it to me. I can make it work. And it's like, Tony Hawk, I drove this all the way here. And he's like, no. Listen, I got it. You're like, I didn't even charge it. And he's like, it's okay. So he takes it and he puts on his music, his American Wasteland soundtrack, which has like a bunch of songs on it from 2006. And he gets in the half pipe and he's going down the half pipe and it's going like 2 miles an hour and it's going and it's still going. And he gets to the middle of the half pipe and he's going up the side of it, but the incline is too steep. So he's like stuck at the side of the half pipe. So he gets off of the scooter and he picks it up. by the back of it, but it's too heavy, so he just like tilts it. He just tilts it on one side, and then a couple of the people that are behind him all the time, they help him flip it over. So they flip it over all the way, and they
The
land
cameraman
it.
sets his camera down and picks it up with him.
Yeah. So when they flip it,
Oh
and
my
then all
God!
the paparazzi.
You're like, no, Tony, don't do that. You'll scuff up the wax.
He's like, I got it. Skating is my life. And then a bunch of paparazzi come out and they're like, oh my God, Tony Hawk just did a flippity flop on this scooter McDooter. And they take a picture of him, and you're in the corner like, wow. And that's the end of the story.
That is not where I thought you were going to take it. I thought you were going to say that he like rips off the cart part and takes off all the wheels and welds the wheels to the bottom of the cart, and then he uses that as a skateboard.
No, that would take way too long.
That's true. He's a go-getter. He just kind of wants to get things done.
You just got to get it and go. American Wasteland.
Oh my God.
So anyway, Epona.
He's listening to Goldfinger while going 2 miles per hour up the fight.
Pretending I'm Superman. It's like
amazing. If we ever get famous, I want somebody to animate that so badly.
Yeah.
All right, we're off track. So the
horse.
So, okay, I should mention a couple things that are just kind of like miscellaneous things.
Sure.
Epona is not at all required to get through the game. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, you don't need to get Epona at all. Like, there's actually this part that people think Epona is required at, but all you need is the long shot. There's or maybe it's a hook shot. I don't remember. Anyway, there's a part where there's a bridge that's out at Gerudo Valley, and you can just like use the hook shot to get across. But you can also use Epona, and it's super freaking cool.
Yeah.
It's just like I think there's like a mini cutscene that plays when you do it too.
Yeah, and there's like the music and the camera's moving.
Yeah.
It's tight, dude.
I don't know why you would ever want to go through Hyrule Field without Epona, because it just takes so long to walk.
What kind of person would want to walk through all of that? Like, if imagine you're Link and you're a child, you can only walk 8 miles per hour.
Honestly,
that field is too big for that.
Just, I'm thinking about it in my head, and that might actually be pretty fast, but I'm not going to check.
It is pretty fast, but the field is twice as big.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
You're making this little dude cross like a football field worth of field.
He's got stubby little cherub legs.
Yeah,
he's not gonna enjoy that one bit.
He's gonna need longer legs. He's gonna need more legs. Where can you get those things? A horse.
You can get those on the farm.
Yeah, at the horse.
They grow them.
They grow horses and legs separately.
Oh no, they have to connect the legs to the horse?
These are not horse legs. These are something else.
Oh no.
I asked about it last time I was there. They wouldn't tell me what they were. So
they just looked at me silently and glared at me for like 5 minutes.
Legs.
And it was like
okay, and they're like, we grow them. And I was like, okay. And I wrote it down in my book. I was like, they grow legs, And
he smacks the book out of your hand and says, don't write that down.
Nobody can know. So yeah.
Tear that page out and eat it. I want to watch you eat that page right now so that nobody will see it.
I did. But you know what happens when you eat stuff that you write on paper? It goes right to your brain.
That's true.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to be like... What'd you get through?
That's how I got through high school.
Yeah, I ate every textbook they gave me. Yeah,
they were going to fail me, but I knew all of the curriculum, so they couldn't.
Yeah, And then I said I lost all of them, and they gave me like $80.
We've been trying to lose those things for 30 years. Good job. You give me a high five and $20.
Yeah.
Woo! What else was I going to mention about Epona? Gosh.
She's cool.
Oh, yeah. You can shoot horses? No. You can shoot arrows on while you're riding Epona.
Oh, yeah. Like the cool...
Yeah. There's an archery mini game where you ride Epona and you have to like get like 1,600 points, I think. No, it's 1,500. It's pretty cool. You can also use it to hunt for ghosts. There's well, they're called Poes. There's big Poes in Hyrule Field, and you have to collect enough of them to get like 1,000 points and get an empty bottle or something. I never do it. It's too time consuming.
It's totally worth it.
You can't take Epona into any dungeons or into towns or into anything like that. So like there's never a time where you can like fight a boss on Epona, which I think is kind of lame. Yeah. Personally.
Yeah.
There's not really any point to being able to shoot the arrows other than like 2 mini games.
I think that's kind of sad.
It is sad, and I teared up a little bit last time I played Ocarina of Time, and not because it wasn't because I was nostalgic for the game or anything like that. It was because you can't shoot shoot any bosses with this thing.
Confined the best character in the game to a field and 2 mini games.
You'd think that a horse would love that, but like, I mean, I'm not a horse, so I don't like that.
Well, I'm sure the horse. Well, I have horse friends. I'm sure it's very nice in the field, but as a connoisseur of video games, this horse needs to fly, man. Not like literally, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like in an adventure sense, this horse needs to glide.
It's funny that you should mention flying horses because there is a flying horse in this game.
Is there?
Yeah. So I guess this would be a good time to bring up why you never finished Ocarina of Time.
Because
I don't know how far you got.
I don't remember how far I got either. I probably got... I was playing it when I was like 12, so I probably got stuck somewhere.
Do you remember any of the dungeons?
Honestly, I didn't even remember there were dungeons.
Did you get past like the first town?
Yes, I got to the water level at one point.
As an adult or as a child? The water temple? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I can't tell you. I don't think... Well, I had to have gotten... I think I spent the majority of the time riding the horse, so I didn't actually... Naturally. Yeah, like I didn't actually progress. I just kind of rode around and went places. So it's not like I went to the water temple, it's more like I came across it, and then the story happened from that point. But nice. I don't think I spent the majority of the game like as an adult, because I was playing it as a kid, so I think I was like, oh, I have to play as the kid.
Right.
So I didn't get very far.
So it's funny that you should say that the water temple is what got you stuck, because I think a lot of people stopped playing there.
Yeah.
But I've beaten this game like 3 times, and that's my favorite dungeon now.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, that's besides the point. So you probably got to the forest temple.
Yes, I believe so.
Yep. So that's where the flying horse is that I'm talking about. Phantom Ganon is a boss. You get to the end of the...
that's right! That's right!
So you get to the end of the forest temple, and who should it be But Ganondorf, the guy that you've been like trying to like stop his schemes this whole time, and he like gives you a big smile and laughs at you, but then he puts on a skull mask,
He puts
showing
on
that
your
he's not the
face.
real Ganon. He's just a figment. He's just a ghost guy.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. Spooky. He rides on a black horse with like another. Well, let me look this up because I want to make sure that I get this right.
Okay.
So it's a black horse with an orange mane, and it's got some armor on it, which is pretty stinking cool. And Phantom Ganon is holding a spear. I'll show you a picture of this.
I'm looking it up.
Oh.
I'm looking it up. Hey, I got my own computer. That is pretty cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he'll fly through the paintings in the room that you're in, and he'll try to shoot magic at you, and you got to shoot it back at him. You can also shoot arrows at him to harm him and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said before, you can't fight Phantom Ganon on a horse, so what's even the point? He's T-posing on you, basically. He's on his horse. Like, oh, look at me, I can ride horses in dungeons, and you don't get to ride the horse in the stinking dungeon.
What the hell? That's
what are your
not
feelings
fair.
on that? It's not fair.
I'm gonna send a strongly worded letter to Mr. Dorf. Excuse me, Mr. Dorf. If I can't do it, you can't do it either. Get out of the dungeon. You're chopped. You're fired.
If I chopped, if I was Ganon, I probably would have peed my pants just now.
Yeah,
but I'm not, so I didn't.
That's the power of a clear mind and judicial reasoning. He gets letters in the mail, and he's like, oh, he's reading it. He's like, oh man, I gotta get out of this dungeon. This little 10-year-old is gonna beat my ass.
Actually, it's a 18-year-old.
This little 18-year-old is gonna beat my ass.
So yeah, I should. So there's basically only 2 horses in this game that are like main characters, and there's no. So I actually played through this whole game the past couple weeks to get like this fresh in my mind, and there is nothing that could be compared to a car or motor vehicle whatsoever. There aren't even mine carts in this game. Nothing.
Shame.
So
for shame.
Our criteria for these games is usually, we're probably going to dock this game some points because there's not really anything car related.
Yes.
But there
I'm
are
tallying
horses,
up the score as we speak.
You are?
I'm tallying it in my brain. I'm thinking. I'm forming a thought.
Yes. You better not get in his way when he forms a thought, guys.
I'm manifesting thoughts.
Oh my god! All right. So yeah, there's no cars in Hyrule. There's not even there's nothing else you can ride other than Epona. So I don't know how you feel about that. Anyway,
well,
I've pretty much spoken my piece.
Yeah, there may be nothing else, but at the very least, what they give you is really good. In my opinion, what they give you is really good. This is my opinion, remembering what I played as a few years ago.
So, I don't know if I should count this, but maybe I should. The final boss, Ganon.
You can ride him?
You can't.
On his shoulder?
Ganon, do you know, have you seen Ganon's final form in this game?
Do I know Ganon? I know Ganon.
He's a pig man.
Oh.
Ganondorf turns into Ganon with the with the power of the Triforce of Power. I'll show you a picture of this boy.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think I got that far.
Yeah, there's a lot of dungeons after the Water Temple.
Yeah.
You can technically skip it, but
he looks pretty cool
for a while. He does look pretty cool. He doesn't walk on his arms.
Wait a
I
minute.
almost said front legs, but
Wait a
yeah, he's
minute.
got hooves.
Hooves.
Yeah.
Hooves. Interesting.
What?
This changes the game a little bit. They make you fight a
little bit.
horse? Half? Third?
Well, he's a pig,
Oh.
but
Are
he
they
is
related?
livestock.
Pig
They're
related
livestock. They're
to
not.
horse?
They're not part of the same genus or family or anything like that.
Pig and horse love compatibility.
Compelling.
Oh,
We'll have to-
it's Zodiac. It's Zodiac. It's Zodiac.
Zodiac.
Yeah, it's not.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. It's not like
I
actual.
thought you were breeding pigs with horses over there.
I didn't know what I was reading. I had to read more. Anyway.
So the goal of the boss fight is you roll between his legs and slash his tail, which is glowing.
Okay.
It's a lot more glowy in the game itself. At the beginning of the boss fight, after he turns into Ganon, after destroying his castle and stuff, he slashes the Master Sword away. He hits it and it goes flying outside of the ring that you battle him in, and it's like really kind of hard to fight him without a sword.
Yeah.
You can't actually kill him without the Master Sword, although you can fight him with the Bigoron sword if you get that. That's a really big quest, and it's very time sensitive, but it's easier to do with Epona.
Yeah.
You gotta go between different. See,
yet another thing that improves with the addition of a horse.
The Bigoron sword is like twice the power of. Hold on, let me actually look this up. Well, I can't find anything on it, but the Master Sword is not as strong as the Bigoron sword. It's really, really easy if you have the Bigoron sword, but it's a dual wielding weapon, so it's hard to. Harder to shield with and stuff.
You have to like plan.
Yeah, but like honestly, I've used the Bigoron sword in this boss fight, and it becomes like too easy when you use it.
Almost takes the fun out of it.
Almost. I mean, you got that thing because of Epona, so it's worth it.
Yeah, that's the ultimate thing.
That's the whole point of Ocarina of Time is riding on Epona. It's on all the box art and everything.
I mean, I'm looking at the box art right now for the original Nintendo 64. And there's a big old horse on it. Right?
Is there?
No, but there should be.
There should be.
Slapped right in the middle of it, right there.
I mean, she's on the box art for the 3DS version.
As she should be.
She should be.
She should be.
That's what you do for like 50% of the game.
Yeah,
is ride
that
Epona.
is true. You see,
until you get to Ocarina of Songs, and then you can just teleport.
Yeah, but why would you do that?
It's not as fun as riding on a horse.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about how I played this game. I don't think I ever got that ocarina. Like,
Are you sure about that?
I don't think I got to the point where I could teleport.
Okay. So I see what you're saying. Because you could only teleport to like. You can only teleport to like 6 different places, I think. You probably were able to teleport to the Forest Temple and to the Temple of Time.
You have to play a song, right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I never used that thing. I couldn't figure it out. I think I
gotcha.
I used it. I think there was a thing I did to like make it rain, and that's all I did with it essentially.
Yeah.
I was like, I played it and it was raining, and that's all I did with it.
I'm surprised because like there's a couple of parts where it's required that you play Zelda's Lullaby to get through different parts.
You see,
did you like just press random buttons or something?
Dude, when I played this game, I'm not even sure if I could read yet. Like,
you said you were like 12.
It's been a while. Maybe I was 12. Maybe I was 6. Maybe I was 4. I don't remember. I don't remember the age that I was. I remember a boomerang. I remember the horse. I remember the fish. I remember the town, and that's it. That is it.
Oh my god!
Like all of my Legend of Zelda memories are like blurring together. So I don't know. I don't know what is Wind Waker. I can't differentiate. I've only played like 3 Zelda games.
I am very excited to talk about the rest of them.
Yeah, I love the one that I named, and then the other one that I didn't name.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
we basically said everything that we could about the game itself. I think
And some, and then some.
And then some. And I think this would be a good time to have a little break. Hey folks, it's Ben. We don't have any sponsors or a network yet or anything like that, so I just wanted to take this time to say thanks for listening to the podcast so far. We're pretty new to this sort of thing, but we are hoping that this podcast can get somewhere. We're building up a little stock of episodes before submitting them to a network so we can make more episodes on a consistent schedule, and so we can have the time and resources to make other stuff like a website and maybe even go to conventions and stuff. And maybe even not sound exhausted from our jobs and the like. If any of that sounds cool to you, then stick around for future episodes. We're currently on Anchor and YouTube, but soon we'll be on other platforms like iTunes and Spotify. Wherever you're listening to us, be sure to follow, subscribe, whatever, so that you'll get notified when the next episode comes up. And if you want to look at funny pictures and videos and maybe even updates on our show, follow us on Twitter at HPG Pod. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of the episode. See ya. All right, we're back. You know, Matt, you were saying that you've been manifesting the review in your head, and
Yes.
I just would like to take the time to like listen to your thoughts on this game and like what you would review it. I don't remember what your criteria was or anything like that, or if you are going to even use that.
Should I explain the criteria?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, it's a rating scale out of 5. It's going to be out of, let's say, 5 horseshoes for the sake of, kitschy novelty. So we've got the very top. 5 is the best score you could get. This means that the game in question contains both rideable cars and horses and or vehicles that function in similar ways to cars or horses. This is like boats, minecarts, etc., so on and so forth. 4 is it contains either rideable horses or cars, but it doesn't have both. 3 is it contains either a horse or a car, but acquiring it is inconvenient, like it's a side quest to get this item, or it's difficult to control. 2 is it contains either a horse or a car, but you can't ride it, it's just there, tempting you, taunting you. And 1 is the game contains no horse, no car, and is no fun whatsoever. Return it back to GameStop. Do not pass go. The end.
It will probably not be extremely rigid with this over time. But I mean, it's not up to me. Matt's the one that reviews the games. I just play them.
Yeah, I myself am guilty of enjoying some games that don't have the key elements of horses and cars. But the majority of the games I enjoy have those 2 things.
Yes. Another thing is we're probably not going to be reviewing games that are a 1 because I like to enjoy myself, and also we would have nothing to talk about, but we might talk about them every once in a while if we
Yeah.
can come up with anything to say, I guess.
Yeah, other than piss, they spit on it.
It's just an hour of us peeing on the cartridge
Yeah,
of the box of the game.
just just absolutely hating on it. Like, oh, 5-star game? Yeah, right, likely. Okay, uh-huh.
What do you think this is? IGN?
No, this is what's the acronym? HAC.
HPG.
This is HAPGA. This is HAPGA. Things go differently here.
Yes. All right. So what do you think about Ocarina of Time?
I think it is, on the whole, an enjoyable game. It has the nostalgia factor now that it's like, how old is this game? Like 30, 20 years old?
Came out in 1998 in
1998.
November.
So about almost 20 years old, I would say.
I
think.
would even dare to say that it's over 20 years.
What are you saying? What are you calculating? You're the math guy here, so I just say the numbers.
So I'm at it would have been 22 years is what I'm trying to say.
Sense. I forgot how old I was. I had to think, and I was like, wait, if I'm 20 and I have friends that are 22, that means they were born. It was a whole thing. Yeah, 22.
Rough, buddy.
22 years. Listen, man, I'm still working on shapes and numbers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I just got done with the colors. I just learned my colors. All right? You can't judge me for this.
Rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the review.
Yes, the review. Okay.
You said there's a nostalgia factor.
There is the nostalgia factor because it is a 23-year-old game, which means a lot of the people that are alive now have played this game. They know this game. They enjoy this game. So it's got longevity with it. It's got people that are like serious fans of it. I mean, even you said you've played this game, 2 or 3 times, which
I've played it like 5 times, but I've beaten it like 3 times.
Yeah, just to have beaten it more than once, to me, is a big accomplishment, a big testament to...
Yeah, you know what? I haven't had that much nostalgia for this game. I played it when I was not that young. But every time I play it, like every time I stop playing it, I wait a little while afterwards and I'm like, is that game really that good? And then I play it again and I'm like, this game's kind of awesome. I totally get why people like it so much. Yeah. A lot of people actually dare to say that it's the best game of all time, which I would disagree, but
It's a very well-made game. That is undeniable. It's got a lot of love and time and effort put into it that makes it so enjoyable. Even when you set it down for a while, you can always come back to it and find something new or find something different to enjoy about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it is not without its drawbacks. So the fact that I understand that you're playing in a world that's not necessarily automatized. Like there's not a lot of mechanical objects in the game in general. Right. So while it does make sense...
Well, I mean, there is the hook shot. That would be a very challenging thing to build.
I mean, a crossbow?
No, the hook shot's it's kind of like this, what would you call that? A grappling hook, but it shoots the hook part really fast. And and it hooks onto stuff, and it'll pull you to that thing without dislocating your arm. Funnily enough, but and you find those in like ancient temples and stuff. The Zelda games have a lot of instances where there's like ancient technology that is more more powerful and more intricate than modern technology, and I
Yeah.
don't know why that is.
And see, that's I like because it's a world where their the way their technology has evolved is different from the way our technology has evolved. So they're more focused on, things like the hook shot where it's more not a car. So that is going to cost it some points. That it's got some features that are not cars. They can't all be winners. What can I say? It does have the horse though.
It does have the horse, and the horse is really good, and everybody likes it.
Yeah. Yes, it's got the big field for the horse, so the horse is very comfortable. It's got a lot of area to run around and eat and nurture. It's got the farm.
She has an appreciation for music.
Yeah, she loves music. What is this, like a dating profile for the horse now?
She loves music so much that she'll teleport to the other side of Hyrule just to hear the song.
She'll be with you wherever you are.
Yeah. She'll be with you. She'll be there for you through and through, that's for sure.
Yeah.
She's very reliable as a horse.
Yeah.
And I dare I say, as a friend, a companion.
Yeah. So Epona, this one's for you. Thank you for being a friend. Even though you are a horse. Thank you for being a horse. So actually, the numbers. Let's get to the numbers. Let's get to the crunch.
Numbers. That's the part that everyone cares about. It's the numbers, not about the details. They just want a numbered score. So
right
hit me with it. Hit me with it, Matt.
Yes, right now they're skipping through to get to the score when I say the goddamn numbers. Okay, the score is 4. That is the score I'm giving this game. A 4.
Wow, very nice.
Yes. Because
I'm surprised, even with all the points that we docked, because you can't take her into the dungeons and fight and stuff like that. You gave it a 4. I'm impressed.
The game wins out on the pure enjoyability of where you can take the horse. The mini games, I understand, are a little less than enjoyable. They could have been more horsed up, but for what they are, for the pure love and greatness and joy of this horse, I have to give this game a 4.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so write that down, IGN, MGN, MSN, AOL. Write it down.
Yeah. We didn't even give it a 10. That's even crazier to me. Most people would give this game a 10, and we did not do that.
Well,
so
our scoring is
as
not
you
out
can
of 10.
see, yeah, Nintendo's not going to buy us out. We have strong opinions about video games, and we're not afraid to show it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, the score doesn't go up to 10, but yeah.
Yeah. I meant 5.
Yeah. That's what it is, man.
Yeah, man.
Take it or
all right, so
sorry.
No worries. This brings us to what I think is probably the best part of the show. We've talked about how good this game is, but like it obviously could see some improvement. I want to discuss with you what you think the ideal sequel of this game would be.
The ideal sequel to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Well, first, I think we got to start where everything starts, and that's the title. So, since it's going to be the sequel in the series, it's still going to be The Legend of Zelda, but we're going to call it The Horse of the Future.
The Horse of the Future.
Yes,
okay.
It's still got that time theme, but we're putting what's important first. So, we're going to start the game. You start the game, you're a little child. You're a baby rolling around in the grass, and the
A
first thing.
baby. You're going even farther back than in the original. That's
No,
that's interesting.
no, you're still 11. You're just very
Oh, okay.
small.
You're just smaller than in the first one?
by like a by like a couple inches. We don't want to get sued for copyright. Okay, so you're smaller, and I believe you get like a gift at the beginning. You get something. Am I wrong?
A little bit. So at the beginning of the game, Link is chastised because he doesn't have a fairy, and he's never had one. We later end up finding out it's because he's not a Kokiri like the rest of the people he lives with. He's a Hylian.
Oh.
So they are always children, no matter what, and they can't leave the forest because if they do, they'll turn into Stalfos, which are skeletons. So he does get a fairy, which is her name is Navi, and he also has to like go out of his way to find a sword.
Yes, and I think.
But yeah, he doesn't get a gift or anything like that.
Okay, I think that's where the first change will be because we're gonna take the fairy concept and we're gonna just put a horse there. It's gonna be like we're going for like a horse girl movie here.
So is the fairy going to also be like a little tiny horse? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Navi's going to be a horse in this game.
Now that in my mind, I was picturing a full-sized regular horse, but you say small horse, and I'm thinking, the Link we've made is already a couple inches smaller, so that would be kind of perfect. Maybe it's like one of those show ponies where it's like smaller and miniature.
Yes.
Can it fly? Yes. Can you ride it? Yes.
No. Yes, you can.
You have to. That's a requirement.
It's true.
Every horse has to be rideable.
Okay.
So this unlocks a whole new avenue for the game. I'm talking cloud combat. I'm talking fight that stupid owl who's you can't skip his conversations. Just get up in his
Kapora?
Yes, just get up there and kick him with a horse foot or something. Get him out of here. He's done.
So I'm interested in hearing how exactly you're going to ride Navi, because Navi is like really small. You would not be able to sit on Navi without killing her.
You are also small.
How small are we talking?
You're a couple inches smaller. So, okay. Here's the thing.
But Navi's a couple inches tall is what I'm saying.
Okay, here's the thing. We take the size that Navi's like the size of like a third of your head. But anyway, so we take
Navi's like the size of my palm, not including her wings.
Yeah, okay. So we take that and we stretch it. Like we stretch it in Photoshop. Just stretch it a little bit and lengthen it a little bit. Make her like the size of make her 3 feet tall.
3 feet? Okay. But, so like the size of like a foal, like an adolescent foal.
Yes.
So she's like a baby horse.
Yes, but she's blue and she can fly.
Okay. Is she going to look like a horse, or is she just going to be a big blue glowing ball like in the first one?
Okay, that just conjures the mental image of like Link just riding this exercise ball in the sky.
Oh my god, that's the best.
I mean, okay.
Does the exercise ball have a horse head? Or is it a horse head?
If you want, I was thinking just like an orb, like a sphere.
Okay.
Maybe with some very small legs that it doesn't need because it can fly. It's kind of like when you take a Pomeranian and you blow dry it. That's what I'm imagining.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah. So that's boom. So what you're gonna get is you're gonna get. I'm getting my thought. It's coming back to me.
Just stand back, folks.
Yes, okay. You're gonna get a horse at the beginning of the game. Now you may be thinking, "Oh, I could just bypass all the enemies." No, because now you got cloud enemies. You got that bird that you got that bird that you have a hit on. You have to take out that bird. Okay, and then you get.
Yes.
I think it's got to be like region locked, where there's like a like every horse has powers. So once you get past a certain point, just stay with me here. Every horse has powers. So you get past a certain point and it's like, oh, you can't use this horse. Boom, you have to go find another horse. Does this put you on your legs? Maybe. Sometimes you and the horse need to have a little break. That's what they say. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So what if...
So we're abandoning Navi at the beginning of the game? You're not going to be able to use her after like the first...
You can. She'll function the same way that she functions in the original game. She'll just be a horse. And like there will be other quests.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah. I'm just thinking about giant horse Navi. Well, not giant horse, but just horse Navi floating around you.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking about the fact that, so the targeting system, right?
Yeah.
She goes up to, what happens is she goes up to an enemy and she'll tell Link, watch out. And she goes around the enemy so that you can focus on her.
Yeah.
That's just the explanation. But yeah, I'm just imagining you pressing the Z or like the L button or whatever button you use to target this enemy. And, you know, if she's a horse, she could probably just fight the enemies for you, right?
It's like you target and it's like a G mod. She just flies into them and they go ragdolling off in different directions.
Yes.
I think it's still gonna be the same.
You target them and they instantly die. She just kicks them and then they die.
She's like, hey, and they're like, ugh. Actually, that brings up a second point where one of Navi's most notable things is that she's got like those spoken commands like that. And
listen.
Yes, a classic.
She says, hey, listen, and hello, and
iconic.
And watch out.
Yep.
Hey, listen. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep that, but we're gonna translate it into horse. So yeah, yeah. So be like that is the worst horse I have ever done. Can we like fix that in post-op? Put like a horse sound over that?
Actually, I'm probably just gonna play it 3 times after I say this sentence. No, I'll put a horse sound effect over it.
Yes, we've got the horse noise for the hey. The watch out is the that noise. We got that.
Okay.
Hello is a third horse noise. It's when you go into the game and you look up the sound files, it's actually horsenoise3.mp3. That's the noise you're looking for.
MP3. Well, that's not good. That's gonna sound like
they had to compress it. They had to compress it to release the game, dude.
They had to save space for Navi. She's just so big now.
She's like a horse size now.
She's
okay.
She's like the size of a pony now.
Yeah. So after that, you can take horses into any dungeon, all of them. Horse power. There's special attacks for when you're on a horse, like beyond just using the bow and arrow. The horse and you have like a mental link now. You can attack, kill.
You have a mental link. That's amazing. Does it use up magic from your magic meter when you use these special attacks? Yeah,
it's like mana. I think that would be the best way to regulate it. Otherwise, people would just be like kicking
Horses
the shit out of each other.
Horses would just be overpowered.
Yeah, especially if they're 90% of the game, they'd be pretty overpowered.
Yeah, there are a couple magic spells in Ocarina of Time.
Horse spells?
No, so like there's in the lore of Hyrule, there are these 3 goddesses, and they're the ones that created the land, spirit, life, all that stuff. And they also created the Triforce, which resides in the Sacred Realm. Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf have one piece of the Triforce. It's like a big gold triangle made of 3 other triangles.
Okay.
Those goddesses have these magic spells that you can learn from the great fairies across Hyrule.
Okay.
They're Furore. I'm gonna have to look it up. This is embarrassing. Furore, Din, and Nehru. I didn't even need to look it up. Sweet. Goddess of courage, power, and wisdom. That's not in. Actually, that is the right order. Go me. Anyway, so you learn Din's fire. That's one of the first ones you learn, and it creates a big ball of fire around Link, and then it like shoots forth like this big wave of fire towards enemies and stuff. And then there's what was it? Furore's wind, and that will you can create a little checkpoint. Basically, you place it somewhere in a dungeon, and then when you go to another part of the dungeon, you can use it again to teleport back to that spot. And then there's Nehru's Love, which is a shield. It makes it so that you don't take damage for a short period of time.
Okay.
So, were you basing them off of that, or did you just like have your own ideas of like of magic and stuff?
I gotta tell you, I did not have a single thought before I said what I said. So
okay.
None of it was based on any kind of research. I just said what I said, and I can't remember what I said.
You said that all the horses there's multiple horses and they all have special powers.
Yes. And now I'm thinking these 3 Triforce ladies, because you said they give you powers, right? They give you like songs.
So the spells that you learn are bestowed from the goddesses to the great fairies, which are a bunch of different fairies that live across Hyrule.
Okay.
So you don't learn it from the goddesses, you learn it from the great fairies.
Yeah, I gotcha. So I'm thinking we take those, and I'm thinking especially like the fire one. That could definitely be a car thing, like a car that just shoots fire out of it and is also on fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
does it have a flame decal on the side?
Yeah, of course. What kind of car
Obviously.
would it be? Actually, the fairy that gives it to you is Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri?
Guy Fieri.
Or Fieri, I guess.
Guy Fieri is in my new game.
Guy Fieri is in The Legend of The Legend of Zelda, Horse of the Future.
Yes. He's in it. He's very powerful, and we used all our polygons to make his character. So, all 3 of them.
Do you want to see what these great fairies look like? Because I don't think you know exactly what you've willed into existence.
No, I remember, because they're like those big booby ladies, right?
Yes, they are those big booby ladies. So are you suggesting that Guy Fieri is like half naked with like vines across his chest and groin area?
Well,
he's wearing like stockings.
I wasn't to begin with, but now that you've said it, I mean,
is he just gonna look normal? No, wait, I've got it.
What?
He's gonna have, instead of vines across him, he's gonna have flame decals that censor his chest and everything else.
Yeah, that's perfect. No, it's like it's either that or it's like a flame leotard.
Okay, yeah, that works too.
Yeah,
It's
and
a leotard, but it's black with flames on it, like he
yes,
usually wears.
yes, and I think when you go I think he's gonna be the main. He's gonna be because they all like look very similar, right?
In Ocarina of Time, they all are the same. They all have pink hair.
Okay, so that means that there's gonna be a lot of Guy Fieri's just everywhere.
All of the Great Fairies are gonna be Guy Fieri. You know, they sound Great Fairy and Guy Fieri sound
Yes,
pretty similar. So
they
I think
sound
we've knocked it out of the park with
very
that one.
similar. Yeah, I think I think one of them, he's just gonna be standing there. Like, you go in a cave, and he's just standing there, like, T-posing, looking at you. And he's like, hey, kid, I need to give you this new meal. And then he gives you, like, a power or something.
He gives you like a cheeseburger, and you eat it, and you get magical powers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is the best.
No, you have to find like diners. You go in and he's in there.
It's instead of the Great Fairy Fountain, it's the Guy Fieri Diners.
Yeah, it's the Guy Fieri Drive-In.
Drive-in. Wait, what is it?
Diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay, I take it all back. That is the Triforce thing. Diners, drive-ins, and dives. No. We've come too far. We can't nix all of that. That's on tape already.
No, we're gonna keep that.
Yeah.
But
it's an open world game.
Wait a second. So
yeah,
the Triforce is originally the Triforce of power, wisdom, and courage.
Yeah, this one's
so
diners,
it's gonna be the Triforce
of
diners, drive-ins, and dives. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the villain? Because Ganondorf's not gonna have any of those Triforces.
Right. Ganondorf would certainly not have the Triforce of deliciousness. I think
he's dead, so we can't use him in this game. Yeah. No, Link killed him.
Oh. Oh no. Link killed him, and then he's got to start all over again at the beginning of the game, but he's 2 inches shorter, and he's got a 3-foot tall flying foal for like the majority of the game.
Yes.
Guy Fieri keeps giving him food in caves. Oh boy.
You know who I think could be the villain of this game?
Who?
I would say personally the evil counterpart to Guy Fieri. Have you ever seen the British Bake Off?
I have.
I don't remember his name, but the guy, the mean guy that's the judge.
Yeah,
the gray haired guy.
Yeah, where he's always like, your souffle is flat.
Yeah. What's his name?
I don't remember his name. I know exactly. We're having this is like a heat miser.
Paul Hollywood. That's his name. Paul Hollywood is the Ganondorf of this game.
Are you serious? That's his name?
That's his actual name.
Why does that fit so perfectly? Like Guy Fieri and this dude with Hollywood in the last name?
Yeah. You know what? That's his actual last name. I looked it up.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, Paul Hollywood is Ganondorf.
I gotta tell you, we got like this kind of heat miser and cold miser thing going on here.
Yes. So yes, Guy Fieri. There's multiple Guy Fieris in the game, and then there's one Paul Hollywood, and he's the evil Guy Fieri.
What would be his? What would be like his ultra form?
That's a good question.
Snowman.
What if he turned into the same thing that? What if he turned into something pastry related?
I mean, okay, wait, okay. We have to specify then. Is this the man, like the actual man, or is it like a character? Because Guy Fieri in the games is a character, but if we're
Yes,
putting like the real, authentic Paul Hollywood in this game,
no, this is a character based on the likeness of Paul Hollywood.
okay, so he could have any power we want.
That's true.
I love how it's not even
Wait a second.
about horses or cars anymore. It's Guy Fieri.
Listen, you can't just make it about cars and horses.
That's true.
The story is also important.
Yeah.
We'll get to horses in a second. I think that we've done well enough with the horse bit. I want to keep going on this tangent.
This bit is where we need to be right now.
We've really got something here.
Okay. Okay.
So,
what were you?
so he probably has one of the Triforces, right? That we just talked about.
He's got
There's
the Triforce of
If we're going off of the clockwise formation, he probably has the Triforce of Diners.
Okay.
And what does he turn into? That's the only thing that I care about right now. Well, okay. So they make some pretty crazy stuff in the show. Like they make like cakes that look like they had this one where they made like Godzilla with like different stuff like that, like monsters and stuff like that with baking. So like he's got to turn into something like that, right?
I mean,
wait a second. He turns into a cake shaped like a horse or a car or both.
Yeah, we just go back to the Twitter meme where it's like, oh, you go to cut him in half with your Master Sword and he's cake.
No, the Master Sword's not gonna do it. Oh wait, you can't use the Master Sword now. At the end of the previous game, Ocarina of Time, Link at the end puts the Master Sword back in the pedestal and shuts the door so that nobody can get it.
Oh.
So we gotta make a new Master Sword.
Okay, it's gonna be it's gonna be a really long baguette you found. Like it's you won't even we're taking like the Dark Souls approach where it's like you won't even know it's the best item in the game. You'll just have it.
Yeah. Or maybe it is just so like maybe one of the swords is a knife, just like I said with the Bigoron sword before. Maybe one sword is a knife and you cut him open and he's cake and you can't hurt him.
Wait, like a bread knife or like a butter knife?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It does matter. A butter knife is like the weakest knife.
You can cut a cake with a butter knife.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be the most powerful guy in the game. You telling me I can just walk up to him and be like, "I'll take."
No, I'm saying that if it's harder to use whatever sword you have, just have. But if you have the baguette, it makes it easier. You just beat him to death with the baguette.
you just beat him over the head with it and serve him with a nice spice.
Yeah.
And then the game, and everybody's probably going to be like in the comments where they're going to be like, "Where's the rest of it? What about like the other 80% of gameplay?" And the answer is, it doesn't matter. We're thinking
it doesn't really matter.
We're thinking up a demo. This is a hypothetical game.
These are things that would improve the game.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already covered all our bases with, there's multiple horses.
Yeah.
And one of them's a car. And you get magical powers when you use them. You can ride them into dungeons.
Ben, if anything, I gotta say, I think we made this game worse.
I completely disagree. This is 100% better.
We filled it to the brim with cheap novelty and celebrity appearances.
I mean, Ocarina of Time was a very popular game.
That's true. You know what we should do?
Well, we're not making this game. This is just our ideal sequel for the game.
I'm gonna call up who's a hot studio right now.
Why don't we just make Nintendo make it? Once they're done with Breath of the Wild 2, they can make this game.
Yeah, they can make The Legend of Zelda 2. Because there's no other ones.
There is a Legend of Zelda
No,
2.
it's only this one. It's only this
It's
one.
called The Adventure of Link. So this one is Ocarina of Time 2.
Yeah, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Wait, no. We already gave it a name. It's called Horse of the Future.
Yes, but we're making it, but it's a sequel to Ocarina of Time.
It's a direct sequel.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's got to be The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 2, Legend of Zelda: Horse of the Future. That's the whole name.
Perfect.
It's got to have all of those components.
All right. Well, I think that we did a solid job, and I think the next time we talk about Zelda, it will be pretty interesting because there actually already is a direct sequel to Ocarina of Time. I don't know if you already knew that, so it'll be pretty interesting when we talk about the next
which one is the sequel?
So there's a sequel called Majora's Mask, and I won't get into it because
I know that one.
Okay, yeah, that's a direct sequel. So after I won't. This is
no in this world that we've created. That one's not out yet.
Well, you know what? I don't think it matters because everybody makes all these like timelines out of the Legend of Zelda games. This will just be another split timeline. So initially, officially the timeline is either Link returns the Master Sword, he doesn't return the Master Sword, or he fails defeating Ganon. So maybe
ours is like the way
there's a fourth timeline.
Yeah, the way that ours happens is you ride Epona into the water and you drown, and then it opens up in this game.
Okay.
It's like
every copy of I'm going to manifest this.
Yeah.
Every copy of Ocarina of Time that is put into stores from this moment. From right now, you will be able to ride into the water with Epona and drown yourself, and then you will you will unlock the true sequel to this game, which is called
The Legend of Zelda Ocarina
of Time 2, Legend of Zelda Horse of the Future.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. What would even be the acronym of that? The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 2, The Legend of Zelda Horse of the Future. Okay, the acronym for those people that need to Google it is Tlazok to Tlazok Hadif.
Are you typing this? Yeah. I want to make this the title of the video.
The full name of the thing. You have to make it the full name of the game. Ocarina of Time 2, The Legend of Zelda Horse of the Future. That is all. I think that's gonna be too long. I think Spotify is gonna ban us or something.
Yeah. We'll just call the episode Horse of the Future or something like that.
Yeah, that would probably work.
All right. Well, this was pretty great.
Yeah.
I think that not very succinctly, but we've created a very good game in our hearts and minds and all that.
Some might even say the best.
I would even argue it's probably better than Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and argue that fact in the comments on YouTube.
This is one of the few sequels that outlives its predecessor, much like such popular films as Despicable Me 2, Alvin and the Chipmunks: The Squeakquel, and
Troll 2.
And Troll
Not
2.
Troll 2.
Just Troll 2. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess it's because it's closing time now.
It's closing time. We're shutting the gates on the stable. We're locking everybody up. We're turning out the lights.
I would like to thank Matt and Okergasting for the wonderful art that's going to be displayed for this entire episode. Really captures the essence of this show, I think.
Yeah.
If you are curious about the happenings of the show and things like that, or you want to see some funny pictures that I like to retweet and stuff, you can follow us at HPG Pod on Twitter. You can listen to episodes on YouTube at Horsepowered Games or on Anchor.fm. We're not on iTunes yet or on Spotify or any of that stuff, but this might be on those things and you're listening to it and I just made this sound really dumb. But anyway, my my Twitter is at Watchman_5.
My Twitter is at MRUZBASAN1. And I mostly retweet stuff about voice acting and some stuff about like anime and video games and things like that.
I just retweet everything, and sometimes I tweet jokes that nobody laughs at. But anyway,
I do. I laugh at your jokes.
Oh, thanks. All right. Well, anyway, this has been Horsepowered Games. Until next time.
Yeehaw!